Welcome back. As of now, we know about find and find index. But there are actually two more additional methods that were added in years 2023, and those are called find last and find last index. So there are basically counterparts to find and find index because as their name says, they do exact same thing as these two, but they start searching from the last to the first element. Now let's take an example that right here console.log. I'm giving here movements. So now let's reload. See here, these are all the movements. So that later we actually see if our results are correct. And so now using the find last method, so I want to determine the last withdrawal. So let's write here const. I want the last withdrawal that is equal to write here movements dot. Here we are not going to call the find method but find last. So write here find last. And as we already know, a withdrawal happens whenever the value of the movement is less than 0. So this kind of condition that we are going to write here now, movement arrow function, and we have written it many times before. So there is no new thing here to learn about movement that is less than 0. So now let's log this into console, last withdrawal. Now let's reload. See here we have the minus 130, that is the last withdrawal. So from right side, this is the last withdrawal. That is basically the less than 0. Here the find last method works that now the method is starting to look here from the end of the array. So it's basically finding the last value that is less than 0, which is this one right here. So if we were just like before using the find method, so this find method check that this is from starting of the array. So that we have minus 400 as the answer. But the find last works like this, minus 130. And so now as defined, the last index is also simple. So it is basically just like the find index. So let's do a nice small challenge. So here what I want to do is to print a string like this. So that is your greatest best movement was X moments ago. And so here notice that the part of ago here, so which implies again that we are counting from the methods, and so basically these two methods. So here the find last and find last index are very useful when we are dealing with sorted data and are interested in getting the most recent occurrences of something in this array, or basically in other words the latest addition to the array. And so here we are also basically assuming that these movements here happen in order. So the first one, then this one, and then this one, and so on. And that's why here we said that this one here was the last withdrawal. And here in the sorted array elements, this one here is the indeed the last. So again, for finding the last occurrence or the most recent occurrence, so it is useful to start looking from the end. So that's when find last and find last index become useful. So here in this case, we are going look for how many moments ago the last greatest best moment was, which mean greater than 2000 euros. Now let's write the const greatest best moment index. So with this variable names, if someone else reads this code in the future, they will know exactly what kind of a value is stored in that variable. And so now write here moments dot here using the find last index and this method giving here moments, and with this here again we get all of our moments. And now here it doesn't really matter whether this movement was a withdrawal or a deposit. So it's just a movement. We are not interested here in the sign of the number. So whether it is a positive or a negative. So we just take the absolute value of it. So for that I'm writing math.abs and then movement. Now this one is greater than 2000. Now let's log this into console. Reload. Now the result here is 3. So that means that in this case here 0, 1, 2, 3. So the result is same by using the findLastIndex or a findIndex because there is only one value that satisfies this condition. And now let's actually use greater than 1000. Now let's replace this. Here this 1300 is also a larger amount. Reload. Now it is number 7, that is this last index. That means that here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 1300. Now let's use this value to log this string here to the console. Let's log this to console. Use literals and then grab this text. And so here change this x to. And so here we get the result that your greatest best movement was 7 moments ago. And here we need to subtract this from the total length of the array because it is 0 based. So for that let's write here moments dot length minus this one. Now we see that it was 1 moment ago, but we just need to subtract always just one more here minus 1. Now let's reload. See this, here we have the 0 moments ago, but now it was 0 moments. And if we were going back to this, let's put it to 2000, then reload. Now this is 4 moments ago, that is actually here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 moments, that is 3000. Actually here taking the length, it is a 5 moments ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now let's get rid of this. Reload. Now it is 5 moments ago. And if it was like this, if this was the largest movement, for largest movement, then it would be 1 moment ago. So now you have a better idea of this find last and find last index. And so this is all about the lecture. See you in the next one. Thank you.